Hey guys, this is Stefan, and the knife I have today is pretty special. It's not mine, it's on loan to me, and the person was nice enough to let me borrow it specifically to make a video on it, because to be honest, it's not a knife that I thought I would be interested in until I got it in hand, and I like it, but not for the reasons I normally like a knife. So let's get into it. Sorry, I'm still getting used to the camera. We have a Brous Blades. Very cool case. I like this. Nice hard case. That was actually the first thing I was really impressed with when I received this in the mail, was how sturdy of a case it was. That's pretty neat. You open it up. And we have a certificate of authenticity. Limited run of 1,000, which I think a lot of his knives are actually. And this is the, I believe it's the VR-71. This actually is one thing that when I first got this knife and I opened the case, I didn't realize that it came apart, and that was kind of a nervous moment for me when I took the knife out and the case popped open. I thought, man, I just messed up the case for a $250 knife. But actually, I guess it just pops in, and yeah, so we'll set that off to the side. And this, first of all, just the outside of it is a gorgeous knife. As you can see there, it's $665 of 1,000. That's pretty neat. Actually, we'll leave it here for the detail. Got your lanyard hole there. Interesting pocket clip. Oh, camera doesn't want to focus on that. With one screw, but it has another right there. I thought that was kind of interesting. Kind of a neat little thing. And it's only one-way pocket clip. So right side carry only, it looks like. Oh, yeah. Really nicely sculpted G10. I actually like that little indentation there. Nice flipper tab. And I like how the flipper tab is actually rounded. All the points are rounded a little. Makes it a little easier to flip out. And as you see, both sides have this groove here. It's a little interesting because the pivot kind of sticks out there, but it's interesting. Okay, let's back it out. Actually, you know what? Let's take a look at the blade. Really nice grind on there. I really like this wedge, or the harpoon. I'm not sure what you'd call that, but all of this is rounded. It's not sharp at any point, even on the interior of this hole here. And as you can see, the jimping that goes down the back of the knife here, which is actually very functional. It does a really good job of locking your finger in. Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a minute. Comes to a really nice point. And you've got, oh, it's not gonna, there we go. Now this is one thing that I've showed a couple people and they didn't really care for. Look at that early lockup. I know most people, they don't like their knives to lock up quite that early. They'd like a little more, maybe like that. That's maybe I don't even know if I'd give that a 20%. That is really, really early. But it's also a very solid lock. It's not popping out anytime soon, at least not from what I've seen, and I've used it a bit. And then this is pretty neat. the inside scales, all skeletonized with the liners. Pretty heavily on the show side over here, not the lock side. And that nice sweeping blade. Now normally, oh, wrong way. Still getting used to the camera. Normally I'm not a fan of this style of blade. I've heard it referred to as a Persian style. But as you can see, it's a very nice contoured blade. It fits very well in the hand. And I have large hands. I mean, you guys have seen me hold my Spartan and my Raja. They fit really well. And that's another thing. The closing of this thing is very smooth. It does run on bearings, I believe. If I can get in there. I don't know if this will pick it up. Yeah, you can see right in there. It runs on bearings. Very smooth. I like it, but the blade is a bit too aggressive for me. I like this nice deep hollow grind. That is awesome. It makes for a very, very excellent slicing edge, and that's what happened there. Here, I'll just show you. It bit into my thumb pretty good, and it did it to the point where I mean, when it happened, I didn't even realize it, other than I was bleeding. But it's got a really nice detent, nice and snappy, but it's not too hard to flip out. You can light switch it or push button it, either or. Snaps out really well, and again, that early lockup. But that's pretty much the reason I like this knife. It feels good in hand, and it's fun to play with. It's just comfortable. It feels good, but it's not an EDC blade for me per se. It's not something that I would carry daily if I did own it. I've carried it since I've had it, just to kind of give you guys an idea of my opinions on it. And I do like it. I especially like this fine tip here. That's very nice. And I think overall it's a beautiful knife, very well made, very nice in hand. The ergonomics are very nice. It's just a really well made knife. And I've always wanted to get my hands on a Brous. Specifically the Silent Soldier series is what I like and what I've been interested in. Actually the person who has this on loan to me has a Silent Soldier that I'm gonna try and borrow from you, because I know you're gonna watch this. So I'm gonna try and talk you into letting me borrow that. They also have a triple threat, which I would love to get my hands on. Brous has come out with a couple larger knives. The Bionic XL, I think, is something that's coming out soon, and I really like that, the looks of that. I'd like to get my hands on that. This just fits really well in hand. It's really comfortable. It's really fun to play with. I thought overall it was a really well made knife. I really like, this is one thing I forgot to mention when I was looking at it up close. The spine is jimping all down, and actually this right here, and it's not going to focus on me. It's not sharp per se because it is angled, but that's the only real edge, because as you can see, once you get past here, it's kind of softened into the knife, and that's not deep enough that you're going to hit the blade. But there aren't really any sharp edges on this knife aside from the jimping, and I like that. The only right in here is where it'll grab, and then right here as well where your contact point is with the lock. But that's a good thing. I like that. It's a really well made knife. It's really nice. It'd be a knife that I'd enjoy owning as a play knife, something that I just collect and use occasionally. Sit by the couch and play with it, and drive the wife nuts. But yeah, there you guys go. It's the Brous VR-71, and thank you very much to the person who lent it to me. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. You guys have a good one.